இருந்துவிடும் என நான் கருதினேன். அதால் நான் எப்பொழுதும் உயிருடன் பிடிபடக்கூடாது என்னும் கொள்கையை இறுக்கமாக எனது மனதில் வைத்திருந்தேன். அதற்காக நான் இந்த சைனைட் வில்லையை ஆரம்பத்தில் நானே அணிய ஆரம்பித்தேன். என்னிலிருந்து இந்த பழக்கம் அப்படியே தொடர்ந்து என்னுடைய போராளிகள் பழக்கம் எல்லாருக்குமே இது வளர்ந்து விட்டது.
It may be very painful at the time because you have to bite the cyanide. What we do is you don't swallow. You bite the cyanide with the glasses. No, then the glasses will cut the mouth and everything. Then the cyanide will immediately go into the bloodstream. Won't take a minute. You become unconscious and you die. If you look at the Tamils, they are not fanatics. There is no religious fanaticism here. We don't have any religious ceremonies or anything. So the people, if they are Christians or Hindus, on their occasions, they celebrate. We won't stop them.
But the fallen fighters who are most revered are an elite group known as the Black Tigers, those who have died in suicide missions.
எங்கள் அமைப்பிற்குள்ளேயே நாங்கள் தங்களை முழுக்க அர்ப்பணிக்கக்கூடிய கரும்புலிகளை பெயரை தருமாறு அவர்களுடைய பெயரை தருமாறு நாங்கள் வேண்டுகோள் விடுக்கிறோம். அதன் மூலம் தங்களுடைய பெயரை தரும் கரும்புலிகளை நாங்கள் எங்கள் அமைப்பிலிருந்து எங்கள் அமைப்பு பயிற்சி முறைகளிலிருந்து மாற்றி அவர்களுக்கு அதற்குரிய பயிற்சி முறைகளை வழங்குகிறோம். அவர்களுடைய பயிற்சி முறைகள் அவர்களுடைய மன உறுதியை ஏற்படுத்தப்படும் சில நடவடிக்கைகள் போன்றவை என்னால் சொல்ல முடியாது. ஏனெனில் அது மிகவும் ரகசியமானது.
நாங்கள் எங்களோட விருப்பத்தின் பேரில் தான் கரும்புலியாக சேர்றது. அந்த இயக்கத்தில் கரும்புலியாக சேர்த்துக்கொள்ளப்படுபவர்களும் அவர்களுடைய தனிப்பட்ட விருப்பத்தின் பேரில் தான் சேர்த்துக்கொள்ளப்படுபவர்களுடைய நாட்டையும் அழுத்தங்களுக்கு அல்ல. இந்த கரும்புலி தாக்குதலில் நாங்கள் நிச்சயம் வீரமரணம் அடைவோம் என நினைத்து செயல்படுவதால் கட்டாயம் கூடுதலாக அந்த தாக்குதல் கூடுமானவரை வெற்றியை தான் தரும். அப்போ நாங்கள் இறக்கும்போது கூட எமது ஒரு மன நிறைவுடன் தான் இறப்போம். ஏனென்றால் எமது தாக்குதல் வெற்றியில் முடிந்தது. எமது நாட்டுக்காக, இந்த மண்ணுக்காக நாம் ஒரு சாதனையை செய்திருக்கோம் என்ற மன நிறைவுடன் தான் நாம் வீரமரணம் அடைவோம்.
Borg's plan was to ram this lorry loaded with explosives through the entrance of a Sri Lankan army camp. He succeeded in killing himself and dozens of Sri Lankan soldiers. The Tigers then overran the camp.
While we see some of the video clippings taken by LTTE, the flashpoint for the breakdown of the Indo-Sri Lankan Accord and commencement of IPKF war with LTTE in October 1987 was due to the death of 12 LTTE commanders by biting cyanide while they were about to be handed over by the IPKF to the Sri Lankan government.
இந்திய அமைதிப்படையின் நயவஞ்சகத்தனத்தால் தமிழீழ கடற்பரப்பினில் கைது செய்யப்பட்டு எமது வரலாற்று எதிரியான ஸ்ரீலங்கா இராணுவத்திடம் ஒப்படைக்க முற்பட்ட வேளை எதிரியிடம் உயிரோடு பிடிபடுதல் கூடாது என்ற இயக்க மரபிற்கிணங்க சைனட் உட்கொண்டு வீரச்சாவடைந்தவர்கள் குமரப்பா புலேந்திரன் உட்பட 12 வேங்கைகள். அம்மாவீரர்களின் நினைவுகள் அடுத்து விரிகின்றது.
காற்றும் ஒரு கணம் வீச மறந்தது, கடலும் ஒரு நொடி அமைதியாய் கிடந்தது. தேற்றுவார் இன்றியம் தேசம் அழுதது, திருவில் வெளியிலும் தேகங்கள் எரிந்தது.
The address made by Prabhakaran on 4th August 1987 at Sudumalai and Jaffna could be seen on the video, wherein Prabhakaran says, "Until I went to Delhi, I did not know anything about this agreement. Saying that the Indian Prime Minister desired to see me, they invited me and took me quickly to Delhi. We made it emphatically clear to the Indian government that we were unable to accept this agreement. But the Indian government stood unbudging on the point that whether we accepted or did not accept the agreement, it was determined to put it into effect. This agreement disarms us suddenly without giving us time, without getting the consent of our fighters, without working out a guarantee for our people's safety and protection. Under such circumstances, India's Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, invited me for a discussion. I opened my mind and spoke to him of our concerns and our problems. I pointed out to the Indian Prime Minister the fact that I did not repose the slightest faith in the Sinhala racist government and did not believe that they were going to fulfill the implementation of this agreement. I spoke to him about the question of our people's safety and protection and about guarantees for this. The Indian Prime Minister offered me certain assurances. He offered a guarantee for the safety and protection of our people. I do have faith in the straightforwardness of the Indian Prime Minister, and I do have faith in his assurances. In taking from us our weapons, the one means of protection for Eram Tamils, the Indian government takes over from us the big responsibility of protecting our people. The handing over of arms only signifies the handing over, the transfer of this responsibility. Were we not to hand over our weapons, we would be put in the calamitous circumstance of clashing with the Indian army. We do not want this. We love India. We love the people of India. There is no question of our deploying our arms against Indian soldiers. The soldiers of the Indian army are taking up the responsibility of safeguarding and protecting us against our enemy. I wish to very firmly emphasize here that by virtue of our handing over our weapons to it, the Indian government should assume full responsibility for the life and security of every one of the Eram Tamils. However, on the death of 12 LTTE commanders, Prabhakaran seems to have lost faith with the Indian government and took back the arms and fought the IPKF till its withdrawal from Sri Lanka in July 1989.
Lieutenant Colonel Pulendran, Lieutenant Colonel Kumarappa, Major Abdullah, Captain Padani, Captain Nadan, Captain Miris, Captain Karan, Captain Raghu, Lieutenant Tavakumar, Lieutenant Anpadagan, இரண்டாம் லெப்டினன்ட் ஆனந்தகுமார், இரண்டாம் லெப்டினன்ட் ரெஜினோட் ஆகியோர் வேறு சாவை தழுவிக் கொள்கிறார்கள்.
This was evident from the protest of LTTE cadres before the UN Assembly. He surfaced on 1st April 1990 from the hideout after 2.5 years and issued a statement wherein he says, "We are not a hostile force to the Indian government or to the Indian people. We oppose the misguided policies of the former Indian administration and resisted the military intervention. We do not want the government of India to interfere politically or militarily in our problems. The policymakers in Delhi should realize that the legitimate struggle of our oppressed people will not in any way contravene the geopolitical concerns of India, nor will it undermine the internal stability of the Indian state. The government of India imposed a stringent condition on us to surrender our arms without offering us a substantial framework that would be a basis for a permanent political settlement. As a consequence, a war broke out. Even though the government of India utilized all its military might against our movement, it miserably failed in achieving its objective of disarming us. It is a tragedy that the government of India completely disregarded the political aspirations, interests, and security concerns of our people who have suffered long years of genocidal oppression, but was primarily concerned about our arms, which constituted the shield of security of our people. This was the Himalayan blunder made by India, and she has learned a bitter historical lesson for such a misguided policy. During June 1990, Prabhakaran carried out the assassination of the EPRLF leader Padmanabha at Madras, in which the one-eyed Jag Sivarasan and his associate Chinnasantan, along with other LTTE cadres, accomplished the task successfully and escaped from India. Due to the fall of Sri V.P. Singh's government in October 1990, Sri Chandrasekhar was installed as Prime Minister of India at the behest of Congress I President Sri Rajiv Gandhi. And it was clear that this government would also not last long, and that the general elections were scheduled shortly, and that Sri Rajiv Gandhi was likely to come back as Prime Minister of India. Since LTTE Supremo Prabhakaran had made himself clear that the leadership of India should not be held by Sri Rajiv Gandhi, he moved his coins cleverly and carefully through Sivarasan, Subha and others, and decided to eliminate Sri Rajiv Gandhi before he assumed the office of Prime Minister of India. He conspired to kill Sri Rajiv Gandhi in a public meeting by a female assassin with an improvised explosive device called waist-cum-belt bomb jacket. The mode of assassination and the timing of assassination was in fact fixed by LTTE Supremo Prabhakaran, and the assassin gang, headed by one-eyed Jag Sivarasan, neatly executed the conspiracy on the night of 21st May 1991 at Sri Perumbudur, Madras. The preparations that the assassin gang made were evident from the dry run held at Sri V.P. Singh's meeting at Nandanam on the early hours of 8th May 1991. The two letters written by Subha and Dhanu to Pottu Amman, the intelligence chief of LTTE, and Akila, the deputy chief of women intelligence of LTTE, would show as to how eager they were to carry out the assassination. Letter to Akila from Subha and Dhanu. We are confident of succeeding in our mission, for we had encountered a similar situation. We will complete the mission by the month end. Prevailing situation here is not otherwise too good. We only need to practice the local spoken language. We just have to put on the makeup. Akilaka, we will remember every word told by you to us till our very end. Rest if we meet in person. Are everybody fine? Yours, Subha, Dhanu. Letter from Dhanu and Subha to Pottu Amman. We are determined and well. We believe that the objective for which we have come here will be accomplished successfully. Because we had encountered a similar situation, we went very close to Singh. We will remain determined till the end. Yours, Dhanu, Subha. The letter by Bhagyanathan, a Tamilian, to LTTE leader Baby Subramaniam is another piece of pre-assassination document to show the commitment by LTTE to carry out the dastardly act. As mentioned earlier, the compilations of 2 volumes of Satanic Force is another piece of evidence to show the motive for LTTE to eliminate Sri Rajiv Gandhi. After the assassination, the letter written by Trichy Santan on 7th September 1991 to the LTTE Supremo Prabhakaran would clearly and vividly expose the act of LTTE in assassinating Sri Rajiv Gandhi as well as the EPRLF leader Padmanabha at Madras. This letter was carried to Prabhakaran by Irumbore, one of the co-conspirators in this case. When questioned about the role of LTTE in the assassination of Sri Rajiv Gandhi, the LTTE Supremo Prabhakaran says that it is a foisted case on them.
It does, of course, make the circumstantial evidence that the Tigers were responsible for the assassination of Rajiv Gandhi extremely strong.
நாங்கள் ஆரம்பத்திலேயே எங்களுடைய கருத்தை தெரிவித்திருக்கிறோம். எங்களை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் இந்த கொலை எங்கள் மீது சுமத்தப்பட்ட ஒரு அபாண்டமான குற்றச்சாட்டாகவே நாங்கள் கருதுகிறோம்.
From the video clippings of the LTTE and that of the BBC, it is certain that LTTE would not act as a mercenary for the assassination of Sri Rajiv Gandhi, and it is evident that they themselves are motivated and equipped for carrying out such suicidal attacks by the Black Tigresses, especially trained by LTTE. As such, in the absence of any other piece of evidence, the theories floated by various interested personalities for the assassination of Sri Rajiv Gandhi